welcome to the Sports Show. Joe Ryan, and joining me today is Kirk Whiteman, head basketball coach at Lincoln College, which I'm sure you know this face by now. It's going to be in every home. Kirk, first of all, congratulations, national champions.
Thank you. It's, what's so exciting is for the kids. I mean, we're coming back on Saturday night with the police escort through towns, and the kids are saying this is the best day of my life, and it's just something to never forget. We talked about that after the game, and how 40 years from now they're still going to be talking about that, and it's something that, talking to people that have been in that situation before, I mean, it's brand new to me, but, you pull on the experience from people that have been there, and, you try to give the same things that, they say. So that's something we talked about, and it's a very special moment for these guys that they're going to enjoy the rest of their life.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the season. Obviously, you must have recruited well and got some kids in here that can play, or at least bought into your concept.
Well, I think that has to do with it. I mean, you got to win with players. But our coaching staff did an excellent job. I mean, if you take a look at...
let's throw their names around.
Well, you got Corey Farmer, and you guys are very familiar with him, and Ryan Cross, and then we added a new assistant this year. It's done a great job for us, Chad Harmon, who was on staff with Marty Simmons over at Evansville. So, you have a really good staff in place, and, go through the season. There's a lot of ups and downs. We talked about the season being a journey, and sometimes you're going to jump off the road, but getting back on the road, and we were able to do that with the coaching staff, and the kids just bought in towards the end of the year, and they were playing their best basketball.
So early in the years, you think you're going to have the success? I mean, we're always being positive, you're a coach, but early on, did you think you're going to have this much success?
Yeah, I mean, I think at Lincoln College, I mean, especially with the new facility we have now, the types of players we can recruit here, the academics they have here, I mean, you should always be able to compete for a national title at the Division II level, and obviously finishing third in the nation last year, you only had one returner, but that returner was Chris Ware, 6'7", 280, and he may not say he's 280, but he's an awful big boy.
He's a pretty big boy.
He is pretty big. So, you had a post player to build around, and now obviously the kind of the ace in our pocket was Keon Smith, that was here from Illinois State this year. So, when you start a basketball team, you always want to have a really good guard, a really good post player, and then with the emergence of Kyle Turpin, down the stretch, and Louis Schonauer playing on the perimeter, and Demario Summerall adding a huge time motor to us, we had a nice five kids, and then with our bench, we were deeper than we were last year. You got people like Steve Hines coming off the bench that I think he had 10 points in 10 minutes at the national tournament, and as you guys will get to introduce some of these guys on the TV, we talked at the end about some of the things they've done for postseason accomplishments, and I kind of had to get them up here to talk about that, because that's one thing about this team is they've been really unselfish. I mean, we had 7 guys score 20 points or more throughout the season. So I think that's something that's attributed to the unselfishness of the players we have and buying into our concept.
Absolutely. So much you see a basketball team where one kid or maybe 2 kids are getting some accolades. You had 5 kids step up here that were all receiving something.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. I mean, Chris was kind of the big-time kid, coming into the season because he was here last year. But, everybody found a way to make our team successful. And, Chris was actually the best player according to our region, our conference. But when we get to the national tournament, he didn't win any awards there. So I think that's a tribute to the types of players we have, and it's not really important to them. And we tell the kids all year long, if you're successful, if you get to the national tournament, these awards will follow you, and the kids have really bought into that. They're not selfish. They're very unselfish as opposed to our stats this year and the types of scorers we had and things of that nature and the way they communicate. So, I mean, that's something that, this team will be remembered for is its unselfish play.
Well, it will always be remembered. I know that my dad still talks about the years when Pickering went coaching and he got 3rd place, and now they'll have that Whiteman name all engraved over there from the national championship team. And I know my dad followed both of them, and my mom and dad went to both of them. And I think I sent you a text. I said he thinks you're the best thing that's happened to basketball since cheerleading.
Yeah, he said he must be drinking a lot though. So we all know the truth. But I mean, that's part of Lincoln College heritage too. I mean, they've had I think we're listed as the top 5 in the nation for number of wins. So. Last year we had a lot of sophomores left over, but when you couple that with the tradition they've had here, where the expectations are to win, that was all created before I was here. So you throw this facility on top of it and just creating more expectations for myself. So I don't know if I'm very smart or not.
Well, let's talk about the facilities for a minute. You win a national championship, and this facility, I don't even know that you'll have to go on the road recruiting, will you? Won't they just come to you?
Well, I tell you what, our phone's kind of ringing off the hook with Chad on staff this year with the contacts he has. I don't know if we have enough scholarships to go around right now. So you're in a situation where you want to be, and we just got to continue to be diligent in the types of kids we bring in that are high-character kids like we had here this year.
Now, have you had any phone calls from the University of Kansas or any of those other schools?
No, I haven't had any phone calls. I'm getting a lot on Kyle, though, so.
Let's talk for a minute about Turpin. Forgot the first name.
Kyle.
Kyle, yeah. What a story that was, and tell us about it for those that don't know. Tell us a story about it.
Kyle was a kid. I went up to Normal West. He was going into his senior year, and was looking actually at another kid, and their coach, Brian Kumpel, said, you need to keep an eye on Kyle. And as they're running up and down the floor, I think Kyle caught a pass in transition, turned around and shot an air ball. And Coach Couples was like, man, do you see how good that was? I said, what are you talking about? You just shot an air ball, Coach. He's like, last year he would have caught it and fell down. This year at least he got a shot off. If he improves as much as he did in this last year as he does next year, you're going to have a pretty good player. So, and obviously just meeting Kyle, a high-character kid, and it's a typical story for a kid that's really tall in high school, kind of growing into his body. I mean, guys want to pass him the ball, and he's not catching it. He just hasn't grown into his body, so therefore he doesn't get touches. He doesn't get time to develop. And so I went up to recruit him. He didn't have a whole lot of recruiting. I think I sent Coach Farmer up there to watch him play at a high school game, and Coach Farmer came back and said he was only in the game for 30 seconds. I don't think he was very happy to talk to me. But we forged forward, because I thought, number one, he came from a great family, but number two, when he came here on his visit, I asked Kyle one question. I said, do you want to be a basketball player? Just because you're 6'11" doesn't mean you have to play. There's a lot of other things to do. He said, I want to be a player. I said, well, if you come in here with the right attitude and you work hard, we'll turn you into a player. And the fact and the point that he's going to be able to compete against Chris Ware every day in practice. And, you get good in games because you practice hard. And Kyle came with the right attitude and, competed with Chris. And as we moved towards the middle of the year, we had some issues because, Kyle still couldn't catch the ball all the times, things of that nature. And we had a few talks with our guards and said, what happens when Kyle starts catching the ball? What's going to happen then? It's not going to happen this week, but you stay with him. He's going to be there because he wants to be good. And we threw him in the starting lineup, and he'd have, 5 minutes of brilliance, and, 5 minutes he'd be mediocre, and it kind of went through that, but you could see improvement. And literally the March 2nd game where he had 23 points and 5 blocks and 10 boards and played for 40 minutes. He probably, changed another 10 shots during the game because, he played it really hard the whole time. And then he played like that 4 games in a row at the national tournament. So literally his best basketball has been just the last 5 games of his college year. This year, and his upside is phenomenal. Obviously, he has things he needs to continue to work on to be a good player. But watching him grow throughout the season and watching our guards stick with him and grow as a team is probably the most special moment for me as a coach. Because from where we started and where we went, you asked me earlier if we thought we had the chance. You always do because you're a coach. Especially being at the facilities we have here in the college itself and the players we have. But you got to be a little bit lucky down the stretch, and things got to go your way, and that happened for us this year.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about the local boy, Schonauer. How did that kid come out here and play? Because I'll tell you what, I watched him early, and I thought, man, I don't know if he can keep up. I don't know, making the transition from high school. This is a fast game, like in college, a fast game, and somehow he's fit in.
Louis, what do you say? We watched him in high school. Didn't think he'd be able to guard Joe in the phone booth when he got here. Slow, really good shooter, couldn't handle it very well. And we talked to him last year, and one of the points of emphasis on him, you're coming to school at the junior college. It's really about developing either academically or your skills. And I think one of the biggest points for Louis was playing against the speed. And so we told him anytime he plays, he has to get everything off the bounce. Shot fake, try and get to the basket. And obviously defending. I think, Louis is a very smart individual, and he was really efficient in his movement. What I tell our kids is, if you're not very fast, you need to start a lot earlier. So put yourself in position to be there. And Louis,
good coaching.
Yeah. Well, the good listening skills too. And Louis is one of those kids that did that this year. As far as scared as we were about him defensively, he only had 1 game this year where it was really, really bad. And Louis knows what game it is. It was against ICC. I think his guy scored 8 for 8 from the field, and all in the second half. we sat down, we showed Louis some game film, we said, hey, here's what you did wrong, and it never happened again. So when you have kids on the team like that, I mean, you're building championship programs with kids like him. So, Louis developed a little runner floater this year. If you saw any of the games this year, I mean, I had some guys from Lincoln High School coming up. I was like, where do you get that from, But that's something we work in practice, and Louis is probably our hardest worker the first 15 minutes of practice every day doing individual work.
And then is he tired, or does he go on?
Oh, no. Louis always looks tired, doesn't he? We need to get about 15, 20 pounds on him.
Well, I'm sure he can get that on.
Yeah, well, you got to just make sure he eats.
Well, Coach, I have to tell you what, hats off to you. I don't think anyone thought that a national championship was coming this year. You may say that you had the hopes, but you know what? I didn't hear that talk around town or the college that, I think we can win it all this year. Now, probably you'll have that talk going into next year. That's when they really put the pressure on you. But hats off to you. I know the whole community was behind you. It was fun, very entertaining. You're doing a great job with the kids and with the college, and I want to thank you for being on today.
Well, hey, I appreciate you having us on, and, it was kind of special to be over there at Danville to see a sea of purple, a lot of faculty and staff and administrators from Lincoln and former faculty and staff and former students. So makes it a pretty special place.
And Country Financial, a big sponsor there at that tournament.
Big time sponsor, that's right.
Okay, well, thanks for being on, Coach.
Thank you, Joe.
And right now, we're going to meet some of the players.
Chad Harmon from Cincinnati, Ohio. First year as an assistant coach. So probably have to be my highlight is first year as a coach winning a national championship. It was pretty crazy. Give a shout out to my mom and dad back home, and my grandpa. He was there too to watch me win it all. We have a great group of kids here. Came a long way this year. Couldn't do it without these guys. They really worked hard for us and bought into what Coach Whiteman was teaching. And say thanks to Coach Whiteman for giving me the opportunity to work for him. And Lincoln College is a great place. Thanks to everybody that came to the national championship.
Hi, hello. I'm Shannon Robinson from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm a shooter for Lincoln College.
Hello, my name is Stephen Hines. I went to Hyde Park High School. My highlight for the season was winning the national championship, and I'd like to give a shout out to my parents back at home.
My name is Wes Dawson from Decatur Eisenhower. I played the 1 through the 3. We don't got no highlights this year. I transferred, had to sit out this season.
All right, I'm Terrell Williams. I went to IBC High School in Chillicothe. My highlight, I don't have a highlight. Everything was about the same here. And I give a shout out to my mom.
Jordan Softly, I'm from Decatur MacArthur High School. My highlight of the season would probably be winning the national championship. And I want to thank the coaches and my family and our whole team.
All right, I'm Brandon Orange from Simeon High School. Highlight of my college career is when I dunked on a 7-1 person. That brought us back into the game, so that's my highlight.
All right, I'm Travis Cleveland. I went to Aurora Christian High School. I played the forward position, and a highlight of my season was pretty much every time I got in. It was the best time I had.
Hello, my name is Tim Tarver, and I'm 5'11" from Gary, Indiana. I attended Roosevelt High School, and I'm here at Lincoln College with a national championship. And my highlight of the year was when I recorded the most steals on the team. I got 8 steals this year, and I had 11 points that game. Both of those were my college career highs, and that was a highlight of my season. And I want to give a shout out to my janitor, Big Red, that's in my dorm, and my grandmother, and that's it.
Hey, my name is Roy McElroy, and I played basketball at Waubonsie in Aurora. It's about 30 minutes away from Chicago, and the highlight for me of the season, besides winning the national championship, was probably my dunk in regionals. That was special for me, actually. So.
I'm Kyler Works from the South Side of Decatur, Illinois. My highlights of the season basically is just everybody bonding together after we suffering a couple losses early in the season, just to bounce back and win the whole championship. And also in Iowa, during the Thanksgiving tournament, I had a few good games and stuff, and they carry on throughout the season. Really, I just enjoyed the season as a whole, so it's not really one thing that I will pick over the next.
All right, my name is Charles Woodson. I play point guard and shooting guard here. I'm from Carpenter High School, and I messed up my ankle during the preseason, and we thought, it was just a little sprain, so I kept playing on it. And then towards the end, I went to the doctor, and then they told me I had a little fracture, so I had to sit out for the regional and the national. So, that kind of hurt. So I was upset, but I still, went and then supported my team, and I'm happy for them. I'm glad, they won. I was just so, joyful at that time. I didn't know what to think, because I never won a state or made it to state really, except in the three-point competition. But I never actually won, came in first or anything. So I was very happy at that time. And I just want to give a shout out to my family. I love you, Mama, and my two little brothers, Brandon and Jarrell.
Hi, welcome back to the Sports Show. We're joined now by the starting five for the Lincoln College men's basketball team, finished number 1 in the nation. And we have 5 people on the team that won some postseason awards. And the first gentleman we're going to speak to, go ahead and give us your name and your high school again.
Chris Ware, Hammond High in Hammond, Indiana.
In Hammond, Indiana. And how'd you do in high school as far as finishing team-wise?
We finished my senior record 16-10.
16-10? So no state championship?
No.
So this has got to be the highlight right here, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
And tell us a little bit about the awards you won.
I won Region Player of the Year and Conference Player of the Year. And just come from having a good team, and they just picked me.
They picked you up.
I guess that's how I see it. I think anyone from our team could have got it.
What's your future plans?
That's still undecided right now.
Are you a freshman or sophomore?
Sophomore.
A sophomore, so you got to figure it out, right?
Yeah, I got to figure out what school I'm going to next year.
Okay, well, congratulations. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
Joined now by the great Louis Schonauer, so I know all you CITV5 viewers know him from high school football. Yeah. Right, Louis?
Got an interception in my last game.
Louis was a high school football player, in case you guys didn't know that. Then he kind of turned into a basketball player later on. Louis, I know I was following it, reading about you in the paper, and you got a bunch of family around here that are all screaming about you that you're their favorite relative.
Yeah, I think so.
And you even hit some threes for this basketball team.
Yeah, I hit a couple.
The word was I heard in the street was you could hit a three if nobody was on you. Was that right?
That's true.
You never shot over anybody?
Nope. Only open.
Your dad never hit a three. I know that.
Oh, no.
You won a postseason award. What was it?
The Sportsmanship Award.
And how'd you get that, you think?
I don't know.
Because I took a look at you with his hair and the beard and stuff. They must have seen something more than I did.
They must have felt sorry for me or something.
Felt sorry for you.
Yeah.
You got anybody out there you want to say hey to?
My family, I don't know.
All right, thanks for being on, Louis. And we're joined now by?
Keon Smith.
Keon Smith, and what high school?
Chicago Simeon.
Chicago Simeon. How'd you finish when you were at Simeon?
We finished 2 state championships. My last year, we made it to the championship. We lost.
So in 4 years, you played 3 times in the state championship?
3 years, 3 times. My freshman year, I played on the sophomore team. I won city. And then my sophomore, junior, senior year, I played varsity.
That's every kid's dream is to play on a state championship team in high school. How was it?
It was good. It was a good feeling, a good experience.
Absolutely. Now you've stepped on and won a national championship here.
That's great, too. Man, I go to the next level and try to do it.
Coach Whiteman coming in here and getting a national championship. What do you think of that?
That's great. I think so. Second year, that's a good thing.
Now, you won a postseason award. What was it?
All conference, all region. That's it.
There's several of them?
No, I ain't that many. I wish, but I ain't won that many. All tournament, too.
All tournament team. Well, what's your future plans?
Play at the next level. Now, be able to take care of my family, be successful in life.
All right. Well, congratulations. Thanks for being on. And we're joined now by?
Damari Summerall.
And what high school?
Peoria Woodruff.
And you're a freshman or sophomore?
Freshman.
A freshman? And how was your high school team?
It was all right.
Is this the best finish you've had since you've been playing basketball?
Yeah.
Winning a national championship.
Yeah.
And I understand you got a postseason award.
Yeah, all tournament team.
All tournament team. Do you think that was for when you got that dunk over that 7-footer?
No, I really couldn't tell you.
You really dunk over a 7-footer?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know if I believe it or not. I'm going to have to look for some film.
All right, ask Coach Whiteman.
I'm going to ask Coach Whiteman here in a little bit if you really dunked over that guy. What's your future plans?
To be successful in life.
All right, that's good. Coach Whiteman teach you that?
Yeah.
All right, nice job. Well, thanks for being on.
All right.
And we're joined now by?
Kyle Turpin.
And Kyle, where'd you play high school ball?
Normal West.
Can you see me down here?
Yeah, I can see you.
All right, I'll hold that microphone up to you. And how'd you finish up when you were in high school ball? How'd you finish up?
We lost in a regional championship game against our rival. I think we ended up with 16-15.
16 and 15. So then you step over here and win a national championship.
Yep, definitely.
Now I know a little bit about from reading in the paper about how a success story that you had turned around. You came in here and had success. And what was your postseason award?
I got MVP of the national tournament.
MVP of the national tournament. That's a pretty big deal, man. Congratulations. Did you think you were going to get it?
Not at all. I didn't really think about it till I got the award. So.
And what was your highlight? What do you think you did best at the state tournament or at the national tournament?
Probably a tip dunk on the two guys and Chris.
What were they, 5'10", 5'11" guys?
No, they're like 6'5", 6'6", somewhere around there.
Did you ever dunk over that 7-footer like these other guys say they did?
No. And that was on a tip. They dunked on a tip dunk, so they didn't dunk on it straight up.
You're going in there for real.
Yeah, I went in there for real.
All right, what's your future plans?
Playing the next level, Division I. I'm not really sure where I'm going yet, though.
All right, well, thanks for being on. Congratulations.
No problem.